Episode 50.
Episode 50, yes, sir.
Yeah, a lot to talk about. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody out
Yeah.
there.
Um, can't
I
believe
hope
it's Thanksgiving already. Seems like Trump just got in on the 20th of January, like it's just the beginning of the year,
mhm.
and
We just did our 1 year anniversary show with Mario Andretti last week.
yep.
Anyway, I hope you all enjoy it. Hope you're with your families today. And we're gonna get into this because we got a lot to talk about. It's gonna be a little bit longer one, I think, and a lot of stuff going on. We're a little bit behind on some of this stuff, but it's still hot in the news, baby.
Yeah.
Still hot in the news.
Yep.
So let me give you a rundown of what we're going to talk about today. First of all, the Trump Mondani meeting in the White House. That's a big one. We're going to talk about that. These 6 Democrats that came out to tell our military to disobey illegal orders. I got a clip on that, and we got a couple other things to talk about that. The Epstein files,
That's still
I
going
think is
on.
which I think is a backfiring thing.
Yeah, it is.
But we're going to talk about that. And then there was another cruise ship death. Anna Kepner found dead. I mean, the whole family sounded like they were a little
18 years old. They found her dead
under the bed in the cabin or
under the
something
bed in the cabinet. Yeah,
on a Carnival cruise ship. My wife wonders why I don't want to go on a cruise.
Oh, now it's not bad. I've been on cruises. There's nothing
Of
like
course,
that happens.
you're a cruise guy.
I am a cruise guy.
She throwing me overboard. Hey, honey, look at the
Oh, well,
be in the thing. Hell, man, overboard.
yeah, no, let him go. Let him go. Fish bait.
Throw him a donut. So on the 21st, Mandami and Donnie, and Trump meeting in the White House. Pretty interesting.
Yes, it
Now,
was.
what really made it interesting is I think the Dems thought that the whole White House was going to explode.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, they're going to fight like cats and
Yeah.
dogs.
Trump's gonna treat him like he treated Zelensky that one time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So they met for over 40 minutes in private, and apparently they came out pretty good. I think they agree on a lot of things. They're not everything, obviously, or how they're going to do what they want to do. I think there's agreements about what Mandani wants to do with New York, and Trump thinking, well, that's not too bad. I think he was surprised about what actually happened.
Well, I just hope they're telling the truth. Mainly Mondani when he gets in January 1. I mean, is he gonna stay true to that, or is he gonna
I don't know.
call Trump a Nazi and Trump's gonna call him a
Well,
communist?
I don't have the video, but I do have a short video I'm going to show you when they first got out of the meeting. But there was some where a reporter said, well, are you going to still say he's a fascist or whatever? And Mondani started to go into an explanation, and Trump goes, no, just go ahead.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah, is that
Just
the clip
go ahead.
that we got?
No.
Oh, that is a
Just
good
them
clip.
getting along.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know.
go ahead. I've been called worse.
Yeah, you could say it. All right. So, I think it was pretty surprising for everybody. They seem to agree on a lot more than everybody thought, and everybody, and let's face it, on the right side and Fox News, they were trashing this guy pretty heavy,
Oh yeah.
and now he comes out and it was pretty positive.
Personally, I think everybody's a little bit going overboard on this guy. Yeah, I think once he gets in, he's going to realize that he can't do the things that he says he's going to do, and he's going to kind of back off a little bit. I think I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think he's going to wind up backing off and calming down a little bit. And
Yeah, I think so. And, I think it was smart for the two of them to act appropriately, so that they don't.
Well, he's got to rely on Trump. I mean, the president, the federal government gives him a lot of money, to New York, and if he screws up, that money goes. Trump said he will hold it, and then you're going to see a lot of problems in this city.
I know, and we're not out of the woods for sure.
Yeah.
But I just think it's just so funny because even CNN was like stumbling.
Yeah.
They're like, holy crap, they're getting along.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to report it because they were looking to report something bad.
Yeah.
And that's always happening. We talk about this almost every episode.
Yeah.
That they're looking for something just to make it worse.
Make it worse. Yeah.
And it's really
Well,
not.
that sells. It tunes people in, and it sells.
That's true.
I mean, think about this.
That's true.
If Trump wasn't president, do you think the CNN would get all the viewers that they get, and
Uh,
MSNBC or MS Now?
they have nothing to report on.
Yeah, they have nothing to report on. That's actually it's a good thing for them to have Trump in there because they need something to talk about. I mean, if you go on the other end, you go to Fox News.
Right.
I mean, they're constantly talking good about Trump and everything that he's done. And believe me, I believe in that because I think he's doing a great job. Um, but them too, if he wasn't in,
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of beat up Biden for the last 4 years.
I know. I know. It goes both ways.
Yeah,
And
I do have to say, I wish Trump would stop
yep.
with the minute
Name
like today
calling.
he's pardoning the turkeys. He's got to interject there that
Mentioned
well,
Biden.
the economy is much better than it was a year ago. We were a dead country a year ago. We were dead, you know. And I understand that. I know what they did to this man for the last 4 years, and he's trying to give it back to them. But after a while, it's just you sit there and you got to hear this.
Yeah.
He's talking about pardoning turkeys, and he's going into
I know. It's
everything, all of his
the other
accomplishments.
administration. The other administration.
The other
Name
administration,
calling.
right?
You
The name calling, and
know.
yeah. But I do like him. I think he's great. I think he's going to go down. My personal thing, and this is what I think.
Well, you know.
In the future, I think they're going to look back and say, the son of a bitch was right on a lot of things.
Yeah,
he did.
if he gets done what he said he's going to do. I mean, the gas is there's only a 5 cent difference between what it was a year ago. So we
Yeah.
got to really
Well, there's some
start
stations.
moving.
I'm seeing some stations in Jersey about
Yeah.
279, 285.
It needs to be that way average right now.
Got to go down.
Yeah.
I mean, like 250, 260.
Let me show you the clip real quick. This is a short clip of when they're shaking hands and
Right.
all is beautiful again. Just think if the ballroom was open, they'd be dancing in there.
Oh
together.
yeah, that's right.
All right, watch this clip.
Thank you very much. We've just had a great meeting, a really good, very productive meeting. We have one thing in common. We want this city of ours that we love to do very well. And I wanted to congratulate the mayor. He really ran an incredible race against, a lot of smart people, starting with the early primaries against some very tough people, very smart people. And he beat them easily, and I congratulated him. But I just want to congratulate, I think you're going to have hopefully a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am, I will say. There's no difference in party, there's no difference in anything, and we're going to be helping him to make everybody's dream come true, having a strong and very safe New York, and congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Please.
I appreciated the meeting with the President, and as he said, it was a productive meeting focused on a place of shared admiration and love, which is New York City, and the need to deliver affordability to New Yorkers, the 8.5 million people who call our city their home, who are struggling to afford life in the most expensive city in the United States of America. We spoke about rent, we spoke about groceries, we spoke about utilities, we spoke about the different ways in which people are being pushed out, and I appreciated the time with the President, I appreciated the conversation, I look forward to working together to deliver that affordability for New Yorkers.
Yeah, so
That's a pretty good clip.
positive. It's
It
positive.
is positive. I mean, look at Kathy Hochul welcomed the pleasant tone
Yeah.
and looked forward to tri-party work. What is that? What's that word? Tri-part. I never heard of this word.
I don't know. Maybe it's misspelled. Tripartisan work. I guess.
Tripartisan work.
Whatever that means.
That's not
Bipartisan.
but
Bi
it's,
is two. Tri means three. So she's thinking of something else.
some ex-users saw it as a pragmatic bipartisanship,
Yeah.
with one noting it could change some political views.
Yeah.
I mean,
And maybe it did. Maybe it will.
yeah.
So they did good. I mean, thank God. We don't need any more turmoil going on. So
We don't.
that was a good meeting.
Yeah, it was a good meeting.
What wasn't a good meeting? These 6 Democrats.
Oh my God, this is ridiculous. Talk about stirring the pot here. What are they
Well-
trying to do here? I mean, it's like, shut up. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Why would they come out and do this?
let me.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm going to read something to you. This is from a good friend of my son's. He was in the Marines. State your name. Sorry, I have to go off just a second. Animal House, remember?
Oh,
State your name. State your name. Do solemnly swear to affirm that will I support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of my officers appointed over me, according to regulations and the Uniform Code of the Military Justice. So help me God. This was Title 10, replacing the word. All right, so this is what they all take this creed, right?
Right.
They have to obey orders. Now, I'm going to show you a video of all 6 of these clowns saying this stuff. The one that really disappointed me was Mark Kelly. I'm a very big space fan,
Right.
and he was up in space, I think, 3 times at least. And to come out and say this now, there was let me show you the video because Alyssa Schlockton was the first one up on this video.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm going to show both clips.
Yeah.
She's the first one that started run the clip. 2 days later, she's on a talk show.
Right.
And it was a CNN or MSNBC, whatever it was, said to her, is there any proof or is there anything that you know of that was an illegal order given to these people?
Right.
She said, no, not that I'm aware of.
No.
Of course not.
Well, I know that they're going to investigate these boats from Venezuela.
But don't you think he's got the intelligence on it
Obama did that.
already?
Obama
Yes.
did that. He
Yeah.
took drones and was blowing up people in Turkey
Well, it
and
doesn't
and
matter
all
when he
these
did it.
countries
I
over
know.
there.
I know.
I mean,
But to hear these guys say this is bad. Now, my theory, once you watch the video, and then I'll come back and give you my theory on it. Watch this.
Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
who take risks each day.
Keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now. Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals.
against American citizens. Like us, you all swore an oath.
To protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
But from right here at home. Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
you must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
In the Army,
Our Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
The American people need you. We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
Do you believe President Trump has issued any illegal orders?
To my knowledge, I am not aware of things that are illegal.
So there's a video, and they stick in illegal just to cover their ass, is really what they're doing. Now, we know he's not giving illegal orders, and Alyssa Slotkin, as you saw in the end of the clip, said, no, there's no proof he's giving illegal orders anyway.
Right.
But they got to follow orders no matter what, right? My theory behind this whole thing, and I could be wrong, is to stir the pot again with Trump, and they know that he's a name caller.
Yeah.
So immediately, of course, after this came out, he's
And he
like,
did.
treason,
Treason.
they should be executed, it's a this, you know.
I don't think he said that.
Let's squash him in their head.
Well, they should. I think he said they should be court-martial, or not court-martial, but they should be removed from.
Well, Mark Kelly got up and he said that now your President Trump wants me executed. That's what he said.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever heard Trump.
Well,
say
if you look at
be
Truth
executed.
Social, some of the stuff was pretty bad.
Yeah, that could be AI. Who knows? You never know.
Not on Truth Social, but who knows? But it was kind of scary. I mean,
It is scary.
Why are they doing that?
What do let's say we get attacked or we're in war
Yeah.
with somebody,
Yeah.
like this thing that's going on with Venezuela, and all of a sudden you get a couple. So no, I'm not doing that. No,
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. No, I don't care. Sue
And
me. We'll take you to court.
Right.
I mean,
it's ridiculous. Technically, if somebody knows it's illegal, you can refuse the order. technically,
They
I
can?
think.
I don't think they can. I think
I don't know either,
if
but
you have a sergeant telling a private, you got to do this,
yeah, you're doing
you're
it.
not going to do it. Okay, you get out of here. Next, get over here. Get
Well,
behind the
if
gun.
you remember A Few Good Men,
Yeah,
he gave an illegal order of the, what they call it?
that's Hollywood.
I know. But what they call it? Red something,
Yeah,
right?
red. Yeah, code red.
Code Red, right? To take care of that kid.
Right.
And they did it, even though they knew they shouldn't have done it.
Right.
But they followed orders. But you know what I think about is these military people that are out there now. They're all over this world.
Right.
And the one thing that Mark Kelly said, too, I think it was Mark Kelly, one of the other guys said that we're using the military against American citizens.
We're not.
We're not. It's such blatant
Lies.
They're going after illegal aliens with criminal records.
Right.
And whoever is with them and they're illegal, you committed a crime.
Right.
You're going with them.
You're going with them. Well, they did say that. I think I heard.
Because they're bringing in the National Guard, right?
Right. They're bringing in the National Guard. But I also heard that if they go into an apartment complex or a house and there's an illegal in there that's committed a crime, if there's somebody in there that's not illegal and he is a citizen of the United States, I think they also take them, but then they release them right away.
Right.
Because they can't go in there and are you legal or what are you legal?
Right, right. You got to find.
I mean, they do have a list of people that if they go into this house, you know, Bob Jones and this, you know,
Bob Jones.
yeah. But
yeah, yeah. I mean, now the raids at Home Depot, they were protesting that and all that. But anyway, my point is, these military guys out there, and you had kids in the military,
yeah,
and they're not home with their family today for Thanksgiving. They're out protecting our country and giving us the freedoms. By the way, our freedoms are not getting taken away either.
Yeah, I know. Remember that? Everybody says
So it's still happening.
Democracy.
Democracy's gone. They're taking away our freedoms. And, if you remember, we went down to No King's protest. Nobody knew what the hell they were talking about.
No, they didn't. You could tell they were kind of just like mummified. Democracy is in peril.
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
You're out here protesting. I think that's democracy right there.
Yeah, if he was a king, you wouldn't be protesting.
Right.
But I feel bad for all these guys that are not home with their kids or family, and we're celebrating Thanksgiving. Everybody's celebrating Thanksgiving today, and these people got to sit, who knows where they're stationed. They might be in a tank somewhere that, eating birds instead of turkeys. Who knows? Right. So, respect the military. And Troy, thanks for that little clip you put on Facebook. I really appreciate it. That was great. So a little plug for you there, buddy. I honor you guys, and the Marines is one of the toughest ones to be in. And he was in the Marines for a long time. So great job to everybody out there. Do whatever you have to do. You got to do your orders. You're getting orders. You got to do orders. You can't just ignore them. So that's all I got on that before I get all crazy.
What about these? You got it down in here. The strikes in the Caribbean against Venezuela.
Yeah.
People are complaining about this. They're saying, "Is this legal?" First of all, Obama did it. He took drone strikes. He did not get Congress to agree to it. He just did it on his own. Noriega, I think that was George Bush the first, the elder, took out Noriega, went right down to Panama. Didn't get Congress to agree to it. Didn't even ask Congress. Went down, got Noriega, like they're going to say this guy Maduro. They're going to probably take him out.
Yeah.
Nobody complained about it then.
No.
But Trump's doing it, and right away, is it illegal? I think we should really look into this because he could be doing something wrong here. I mean,
yeah. Or he's murdering people on a fishing boat.
Right.
It's no fishing boat. A fishing boat doesn't have 4 engines and travel 80 miles an hour on the water.
Right. Yeah.
Come on. I didn't see any fishing things hanging out.
Right.
Even a fish wouldn't catch up to him. Not a fishing boat.
Yeah.
And they twist it now. Who did he murder today? I mean, really?
Oh, I know.
Come on.
Who did he murder today?
All I know is if that boat, more than likely, because we got satellites that can read newspapers from space. Yeah. They know there's something on that boat. And if all that fentanyl makes it in and your kid dies from fentanyl, I don't think you're against blowing them up. So...
Yeah. You're right. They're fast boats. I mean, they're not fishing. They're going.
Yeah, they're not fishing. No. What the hell are they fishing? Piranha or something? I don't know. What fish swims well? Salmon upstream.
Yeah.
Tuna goes downstream. So there you go. There's your 6 dams that are taking a little bit of heat for that. So
Yeah. Epstein files.
everybody got their wish.
Yeah, they got the files released. So what's happening? Is Trump getting? Is he? Are they taking him out of the White House? Is he under arrest? Is he? No.
Even CNN had to admit 1,000 emails, not one email
Right.
would put him to do.
Well,
anything
supposedly he
illegal.
was friends with him, but evidently he went down to Mar-a-Lago and Trump saw something he didn't like.
Yeah, threw
and
him
said
out.
the guy's a pervert and get him out of here.
And ever since then, he didn't like him.
Yeah.
He really was.
And then later on, Epstein was evidently talking crap about his
Yeah.
running in 2016.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So there's a lot to come out. There's a lot still coming out now, but there's no incriminating evidence against him. And you know what? you got to tell you got to know that part of the reason why it took so long for him to release it is he knows there's nothing in there.
Right.
He probably scanned through to make sure he
Well,
didn't lie.
but I heard him talk maybe close to a year ago after he was in, stating that if this gets released, he says a lot of lives, whether you're a Democrat or Republican,
oh right,
independent,
right,
you're a pretty well-known person,
mm-hmm.
their lives are going to be ruined.
Yeah.
And he says, do we really want this? Do we really want all this stuff out?
I know.
It's going to open up a can of worms to a lot of people.
Now,
and,
you know, like Clinton
I know what they're saying. You should be held accountable for your actions.
Yeah.
But who's to say? I mean, were all these girls underage? Were they under 18? Not all of them.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So I mean,
and one is bad enough.
Right.
We don't need any.
But now, if Trump did something, I think that's what this whole thing was all about. Oh, let's get Trump.
We got to get him.
Don't you think one of these girls would have said, "Oh yeah, Trump, yeah, he raped me. He took me up to a room and this." Those girls didn't say anything about Trump.
No, as a matter of fact, when they were asked about him, he said, "No, there was nothing.
There was nothing there with Trump." I mean,
right.
So now all this stuff is going out.
Yeah, it's all backfiring.
With Bill Clinton, Larry Summers,
Right.
Naomi Kaminsky, or Steve Bannon, and others.
Yep.
Things like that are going to...
All the names are in there now.
Already that Larry Summers has got to resign from whatever company he was running. I mean, all this, I don't know. I understand that people should be held accountable, but...
It's destroying lives.
Yeah.
And I got a picture of Larry Summers right here. He was a board of director, teaching roles at Harvard Kennedy School. And he was named in multiple Epstein emails, seeking romantic advice.
Oh.
So he made an announcement to all the students and all this that he was going to step down,
right.
And he apologized and embarrassment and all this stuff. But it's exactly what Trump said was going to happen. It's ruining lives. This guy had to back down. Now, these emails, he's seeking romantic advice. You know what I mean? You didn't see that in any of the Trump emails.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So then we had Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, of course, she's not involved with the Epstein thing in any way, but the public fallout with Trump over her pushing to get these out.
Right.
She just doesn't want to deal with it anymore and
and
deal
she
with him.
Resigned
and she resigned.
Yeah.
So Trump called her a traitor. You know, here we go with the name calling again.
Yeah. Called her a traitor. But she was a big advocate for him. I mean, she was a big a voice for him. And I hate to see her go because I kind of liked her. I thought she was pretty feisty.
Yeah.
And, there was just something about her that...
Yeah, she was intelligent.
I remember her sitting in Congress and wearing a MAGA hat and all that. I thought she was pretty feisty and pretty good, but...
And it's funny how she changed and then pushed to get the Epstein files out. Now he put them out, and he's still, they're still fighting or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
And then Dan Bongino, what happened with him?
Well, that was a confrontation between him and Bondi, I guess.
Because of the release of
because she was slow walking the files and not getting them out, and he was yelling about getting them out, and so
he's an ex-CIA agent.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he was deputy director of the FBI, and then
FBI and
he's
yep.
stepping down too. So there's 3 people so far.
Oh, he's actually stepping down.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought he was
yeah.
still going to
He's
be on board.
considered resignation. He was demoted to co-deputy director on September 15th.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh.
so which is effectively a resignation from his original deputy
Right. Yep.
director of the FBI. So
Boy, he was really talking about July 13th when Trump got shot.
yeah,
And
yeah.
all the mistakes that were made.
I
and
know,
something's
I know.
going on, and
But
we still don't know about that guy.
well, they did. They did, and it was
Crooks.
what?
Crooks was his name.
Crook was a kid, right? Who's the investigator?
Oh, the FBI.
Yeah, Cash Patel.
Well, before him, it was the other guy.
Yeah, well, Cash Patel and his team did a thorough search, and they searched. They said thousands and thousands of connections and phone records. He had 5 burner phones and all this crap. They couldn't find anything to tie him to anybody else that radicalized this kid. Just did it on his own, and that's why he missed. Charlie Kirk, on the other hand, I don't know about that one. So, the files are out now. I'll guarantee you, by December, we're not going to hear much about it because there's nothing there. You can't hang Trump again.
Right.
It didn't work again.
I know. They try everything.
Yeah.
Teflon Don. I swear.
Teflon, yeah, he's like
everything.
He's like John Gotti.
Yeah, he's like John Gotti.
Right. So, but we'll see. They're still digging into the emails. They're still digging into a lot of different things. But I think that for the most part, and honestly, I don't even know if like Clinton did anything illegal with young kids or anything. I don't know if I believe that either. So, but time will tell.
Yeah.
But you already have one that was looking for romantic advice. What does that mean? Trying to get a young girl or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
So they're out. We'll see what happens. Only time will tell. The holidays are coming, and see whose Christmas we can ruin now. Who's the next one to go down?
Yeah.
How
about this other story about this girl, 18-year-old girl on a cruise ship? They find her dead.
Anna Kepner.
Kepner. They find her dead. I think it was the last day of the cruise. They found her dead.
Mm-hmm.
She said she didn't feel good, and she went back to the cabin, and that was it. And then a maid found her stuffed underneath the bed, rolled up in blankets, and then with life preservers tucked all around her. And they found out that she was strangled, chokehold.
Yeah.
And they're kind of pointing to the stepson, the stepbrother.
Well, from what I'm reading about this family, it was pretty.
Oh, they're a
nuts
mess.
anyway.
They're a mess. Anyway, but
They're a mess, yeah.
the father is on his 3rd marriage.
Yeah, right. Stepkids all over, back and
Right,
forth.
stepkids, and his 2nd marriage is the one with this stepson.
No.
That woman had, I guess, another marriage, and that's how she had that boy.
Mm-hmm.
And evidently he was obsessed with this girl, Anna. A lot of times they're friends because she was 18, he was 16.
Yeah.
And he would go into her room and he'd lay down on top of her, and I guess maybe he wanted, I don't know what he wanted.
Right.
Accuse him of anything, but here's the other thing that's kind of weird about this whole thing. Why did they put them in a cabin by themselves? He was in the
I
same.
didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he was in the same cabin as she was.
Hmm.
Now I understand there was a lot of people on this cruise, and I don't know who paid for what. Maybe they were trying to, consolidate the money that had to go out on this.
Right.
So they put these 2 individuals, the stepson and the girl, in the same cabin.
And what could they have been fighting about? A jealousy thing, or nobody
Well,
really knows yet. Right?
Nobody really knows. They were saying that this kid, the 16-year-old, which is TH, that's what he goes by, TH, I guess, had some problems. Who knows? I mean, when you come from a family, 3 different wives,
broken up,
bunch of different people, different kids from all different marriages and everything.
Yeah.
You know, and then here's the other thing. What about any type of video? Do they know who went into that room? They gotta have. I guess those ships gotta have
Oh,
some
I'm
kind of
sure.
in the hallway.
They're doing the whole.
See who's going into the room. I know the FBI keeps saying that they're still investigating.
Yeah,
which
because
they
they were in international waters when it happened.
right, and so Florida FBI has taken over. But you know, some of the like the grandmother and this one was people were saying we don't know anything. All we know is they found her dead. We don't know who did it, what did it, what did it. They're not talking to us, and
Right.
you know, and then supposedly the mother, the second wife, and the mother of the kid,
Right.
supposedly she's not talking. They're trying to get information from her.
Oh, why?
She ain't talking. I don't know. She might know something.
Well, is it? Well,
And
wait,
this-
wait. So is that woman that kid's real mom?
Yes,
Oh,
I
well,
think so.
that
yes.
may be why.
Yeah, she's trying to protect him. And evidently the stepson was taken off the notes of the investigation. There's a lot here that just doesn't make sense. And you know, and it's putting a tarnish on the cruise industry.
Yeah, no kidding.
You don't want to
I don't want to go
you
on.
don't want to take your wife on a nice romantic cruise. No.
Because she'll throw me overboard.
No, she won't.
Oh, yeah. Oh, if she had the chance. Oh, look out. In the water, he goes. She wouldn't even go man overboard. Just go, oh, it's just a fish. Let him go. He can swim back.
They got gambling on the boat. You love gambling.
I don't gamble. What do I gamble?
Gamble? You do.
I got no money to gamble. Not yet.
They have good restaurants on there. What do you know about
Yeah,
the
well, I
restaurant
know.
business? You,
No.
you sit down, you
Just
order.
sit
a
down,
meal.
I order. You know. But I know they're massive ships. They have pools and, you know.
Well, yeah, they do. I mean, you want to go on if you and Kath go, you want to go on one that's kind of more for the adults, like Celebrity is like that.
Ooh, Celebrity Cruise.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll go on Celebrity Cruise with our wives. Someday.
someday.
So, yeah, so that's a sad thing. And it brought back, in fact, this girl I know, Carly, she always tries to give me a little something for us on Tuesday.
Yep.
And she brought up a few years ago, Amy Bradley
Yes.
is the other case. Happened in 2010 or 11. I forget exactly what happened, but she disappeared.
She disappeared. Yep.
Now, they parked the boat. They got out. You know how you can make stops with the boat and you get off?
Yeah, we get off
You
and
know.
they do excursions.
Right.
Yeah.
So she got off the boat with everybody else and
never
never came
came
back.
back.
And they think she was kidnapped, and who knows? Maybe she's in the trade somewhere.
Well, how about a couple of months ago, the 5-year-old girl or a 4-year-old girl sitting on a window, and the mother
in a
wanted to take
cruise
a
ship.
picture, told her to
On a
sit on the
cruise ship.
window, and the poor girl, she lost her
Falls.
balance and falls right into the ocean.
There's a mom
I don't want
for
to
you.
mention the cruise name. I know the cruise name, but fell right in the ocean. Now the father jumped in, and I was able to rescue her.
Right,
which
right.
was fantastic. You imagine a little 5-year-old.
What a great mom.
I know.
Here. Here, stand on the rail.
Stand on the rail.
See if you could balance so I can take your picture real quick. Really?
Yeah,
Come on.
I know.
I could see my Amanda on a cruise. Wouldn't even let the kid near the edge.
Right.
He's locked in a room. You know, overprotection, but that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hope something comes up of this.
Oh, I hope so too, because this is really a horrible story.
You know, these
really
young
is.
girls, and there was another, I don't want to get off our targeted talk here, but there was another stabbing on a train.
Oh yeah. I
Another
heard about
young
this.
girl.
Another young girl.
For no
And what is this?
freaking
Somebody
reason.
else was lit on fire?
Yeah. Another one. And that guy was arrested 77 times.
And this is in
Had 40
Chicago?
Yeah, had 40, I think it was 77 times and 40-something convictions of little stuff here and there, whatever. And he's on the street and he lights a girl on fire. Now, the girl is still alive,
Yeah.
recovering. But it was almost like that other guy
Yeah.
that burned that girl on the subway that died.
Oh yeah.
He was another one that had, now I don't know if it was him that had the 77 or the other guy, look it up. But one of them they had so many arrests already. And when you talk about Anna, not Anna, the one we had talked about a few episodes ago. They got stabbed on a train for no reason.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, that still bothers me to this day. That picture of her looking up,
Looking up.
not knowing what happened,
right.
just breaks my heart. God,
Yeah.
you know, and the parents, I just don't know. I don't know what I would do. Christ. you'd have to kill me because it's nuts. But
What else? Anything else?
no, I mean those are the top stories of the day, at least for now.
At least for
And
now.
Of course,
Until tomorrow
Thanksgiving.
morning.
Till tomorrow morning, it'll be something new.
That'll be something new. Yep.
There is a whole lot of stuff going on, but we want to bring you the top news the best we can. We don't mimic Fox. For the person who said that in a comment, we do our own homework, and we talk about current events.
Somebody complained that we imitate Fox.
Yeah, we just mirroring Fox.
Oh.
No, we try not to mirror them because Fox is one way, and that's the only way.
Yeah.
We try to, we know Trump's an asshole.
I do watch Fox all the time though. I watch it in the morning. I love Fox and Friends in the morning, and I watch that before.
Well, you know what I'm switching to is Maria Bartiromo
in Fox Business.
Yeah,
Oh,
in the mornings.
You know, she dated, what's his name, the lead singer of the Ramones.
Oh, great!
Do you believe that? Long time ago.
Wow.
Obviously, a long time.
He looked like Howard Stern, that guy.
Yeah, yeah. She went on a date with him.
So now that we did a really good job tonight, now I'm supposed to ask you for like and subscribe. I'm not supposed to do it in the beginning until we give you something worthwhile.
Oh.
So now we did. So like and subscribe. We are growing and continue to grow, and we hope to keep bringing you great stuff.
Yeah.
Don't forget last week, if you missed it, Mario Andretti. We had a great interview with him.
Man's 85 years old. Man, he knew everything that happened to his life, everything, down to a T.
Yep. I mean, dates.
Everything.
And drivers.
Drivers.
And, just nuts. It was a great interview. And he gave us some info that you probably haven't heard before.
That's right.
I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
So that's it. I want everybody out there to enjoy their Thanksgiving. If you're sleeping.
I know the airports are finally getting back to normal in a way. They say that this is going to be they say that every year. It's going to be a record amount of people
record
traveling.
every time.
Every year is a record amount.
I know.
You know. But
tell by the
they're saying there's still going to be some delays, but it's going to be a lot better. Did you see Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary?
No.
Oh, he was funny.
Yeah.
He says, and I know we can't mandate this and make it a rule, but can't people dress a little bit nicer on the airplane?
On the airplane, yeah.
Now, my wife and I, we go to Florida a lot, and people coming on with pajamas.
I know.
I mean, I just don't get it. Pajamas, flip flops, their hair is all a mess, and especially
or it's purple.
I don't want to say the young people, but there they are, pajamas, big headphones on their ears, and they're this. This is what they're doing.
I know.
That's all they do.
When flying first came out, everybody wore a suit and a dress.
Oh, I remember living in Baltimore, going to Friendship Airport, which is now BWI. I would go down to go right to the gate. You could go right to the gate back then.
Yeah, sure.
And you'd see everybody everybody wore it. But man wore a tie.
Yeah.
Woman was real nice dressed, and boy.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and you could smoke on a plane.
You could smoke on the plane.
And
And you got real food.
And you got a steak with a
a
real steel knife, not plastic.
Not plastic.
Because nobody worried about stabbing people then, right?
Yeah.
Crazy. So that's 50. By the way, hold on. Wake up! That's in case they're sleeping.
Jeez.
Did that hurt?
It killed my ears.
I'm
I
sorry.
got my hearing aids in. I'm 66. I'm old. I can't take it.
I just want to see if the tryptophan got to you. So anyway, enjoy your holidays. Thank you so much.
Watch a lot of football.
Yeah, football, and don't eat too much. And we'll see you next week. Really want have enjoyed time with the family, and we are too. So, adios. I'm Joe.
I'm Bill. We'll see you.
See you next week.
Yep.
Bye.